Boston Bruins NHL prospects, Fraser Minten, Fabian Lysell, and Max Wanner. If you're a Boston Bruins fan, the team's recent moves in the prospect department are worth paying close attention to. With the 2025-26 NHL season just around the corner, fans and analysts alike are eager to see how the Bruins' younger talent will shape the franchise's future. In this edition of NHL Prospect Watch, we'll take a deep dive into 3 promising players who could leave their mark on the team sooner rather than later. And this is where it gets interesting. These prospects aren't just names on paper. They come with impressive resumes and untapped potential that could make or break Boston's long-term plans. First up is Fraser Minten, whose journey from one Original Six franchise to another has already sparked plenty of debate among hockey enthusiasts. The Bruins acquired Minten from the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for Brandon Carlo, a former alternate captain of the Tri-City Americans. This trade also netted Boston a top 5 protected first-round pick in 2026 and a 4th-round selection in 2025. So what makes Minten such an intriguing addition? At just 21 years old, he's shown flashes of brilliance both at the NHL and AHL levels. During his brief stint with the Maple Leafs earlier this season, Minten notched 2 goals and 2 assists in 15 games. He then added 13 points, 6 goals and 7 assists, while playing for the Toronto Marlies in the AHL. Once he joined the Providence Bruins, Minten wasted no time making an impact, scoring his first goal as a Bruin in 6 appearances and finishing the regular season with 7 points, 3 goals and 4 assists. His performance extended into the playoffs, where he contributed 2 assists in 8 games. Before turning pro, Minten carved out a stellar career in the Western Hockey League, WHL, splitting his time between Kamloops and Saskatoon. Over parts of 4 seasons, the 6'2", 192-pound forward racked up an impressive 77 goals and 111 assists in 187 regular season games. Notably, he represented the Blazers at the 2023 Memorial Cup, further solidifying his status as a rising star. But here's where things get even more exciting. Fabian Lysell. The Swedish winger had a breakout year in 2024-25, transitioning seamlessly between the NHL and AHL. Lysell made his highly anticipated NHL debut on December 28, 2024, earning 12 appearances with the big club. Though he started slowly, he found his groove late in the season, recording 2 assists and scoring his first ever NHL goal on April 13, 2025. A moment that sent Bruins fans into a frenzy. Afterward, Lysell returned to Providence to bolster their Calder Cup playoff run, contributing significantly with 11 regular season goals, including 2 game winners, and 23 assists in 54 games. His postseason play wasn't too shabby either, as he picked up 2 assists in limited action. Lysell's path to the NHL began when the Bruins selected him 21st overall in the 2021 NHL draft. He quickly proved his worth by lighting up the WHL with the Vancouver Giants during the 2021-22 season, leading the team with 62 points, 22 goals, and 40 assists in 53 games. He continued to shine in the playoffs, racking up 21 points in 12 games and helping the Giants reach Game 6 of the second round. Standing at 5'11" and weighing 181 pounds, Lysell might not be the biggest player on the ice, but his skill set and determination make him a force to be reckoned with. And now, let's talk about Max Wanner, the newest defensive addition to the Bruins prospect pool. Acquired from the Edmonton Oilers during the 2025 NHL trade deadline. Wanner arrived in Boston alongside a 2nd-round pick in 2025 and a 4th-round pick in 2026. In return, the Oilers received OHL champion Max Jones and Trent Frederick. While some may question whether this trade was a win for the Bruins, Wanner's early performances suggest otherwise. Prior to joining Providence, the 6'3", 184-pound defenseman logged a goal and an assist in 22 games with the Bakersfield Condors, Edmonton's AHL affiliate. Since arriving in Providence, Wanner has been steady, adding 3 assists in 15 games. Originally drafted by the Oilers in the 7th round of the 2021 NHL Draft, Wanner honed his craft with the Moose Jaw Warriors in the WHL. Over parts of 4 seasons, the Estevan, Saskatchewan native accumulated 14 goals and 44 assists for 58 points in 121 regular season games. Though he may still be developing his all-around game, Wanner's size and offensive instincts give him a unique edge. So what do you think? Are these acquisitions enough to propel the Bruins back to Stanley Cup contention? Or does the team need to invest even more heavily in its pipeline? One thing is certain, with players like Minten, Lysell, and Wanner in the mix, the Bruins' future looks brighter than ever. But don't just take our word for it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe these prospects can live up to the hype? 3 Bruins breakout candidates for 2025-26 season. The Boston Bruins are at a crossroads as they approach the 2025-26 NHL season, facing pressure to bounce back after a disappointing 33-39-10 record that placed them 5th worst in the league last year. Despite some players achieving personal bests and hitting key milestones in 2024-25, the team's performance left fans hungry for improvement. Excitement has sparked among supporters, fueled by a fresh wave of free agent signings that promise to reshape the roster and inject new energy. But here's where it gets controversial. While the roster boasts talent, significant gaps remain, some urgent, others looming. The Bruins' bottom 6 forwards stand out as a weak point in need of an upgrade, a critical area that's already problematic heading into the new season. Defensively, injuries revealed vulnerabilities in the depth of the blue line, a headache that surfaced painfully during 2024-25. Goaltending, meanwhile, hasn't been stellar, but is less of a concern compared to other areas. Oddly enough, the biggest issue might be an overcrowded roster of skilled players competing for limited spots, where not everyone will make it past training camp. Looking ahead to their October 8th, 2025 opener against the Washington Capitals at Capital One Arena, the Bruins are expected to carry a 23-player roster. Among them, 3 athletes stand out as breakout candidates who could take the next step in their careers, possibly changing the course of the season for Boston. 3. Fraser Minten, forward. Fraser Minten's arrival in Boston was a bit of a head-scratcher when he landed from the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for Brandon Carlo at the 2025 trade deadline. His initial impact was modest but promising. Minten put up 8 points, 4 goals, and 4 assists in just 17 games, split between the Bruins and their AHL affiliate, Providence. This isn't a staggering number, but for a young player acclimating to a new team, it signals potential. Minten is vying for a place among the Bruins' bottom 6 forwards, a group currently lacking depth, especially for a left-handed shooter like him. His limited NHL experience, only 25 games and 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, means he's still relatively unproven. What stands out is his discipline on the ice, having racked up only 4 penalty minutes in that span, proving he can play a clean game under pressure. He's not guaranteed a spot in the opening night lineup, but Minten arrives at training camp motivated to prove himself to general manager Don Sweeney and the leadership. It's possible the team's expectations for him are low, but Minten's own ambitions are high, as he aims to justify the trust shown in him and seal his place on the roster. Mason Lohrei, defenseman, quietly emerged as one of the Bruins' most reliable defenders last season. Playing 77 games, he contributed 5 goals and tallied 28 assists. Beyond his NHL play, Lohrei showcased his international caliber by helping Canada win gold at the World Championship, where he added 1 goal and 2 assists in 5 games. When veteran defenseman Hampus Lindholm suffered a severe knee injury, a fractured patella tendon that forced him out after just 17 games, Lowray stepped up to take over top pairing duties. Despite the pressure, the second-year player thrived, impressing with his smart positioning, improved discipline, and steady play. His penalty minutes dropped significantly from 18 in 41 games to just 16 in 77, averaging under half a minute of penalties per game last season, which is remarkable for a defenseman tasked with heavy minutes. Lowray enters the new season fighting to keep the second spot on the top defensive pair, likely edging out the returning Lindholm thanks to his strong 2024-25 campaign. Fans and analysts will be watching to see if he can build on his assist totals and possibly add more goals while continuing to manage the puck effectively. 1. Matthew Poitras. Forward. Matthew Poitras' journey into the NHL hasn't been typical. Thrust into the Bruins lineup early in 2023-24 because the team lacked AHL options. He used the 2024-25 season to hone his game by splitting time between Boston and Providence. Across 81 games, including 8 playoff appearances in the minors, Poitras racked up an impressive 56 points with 20 goals and 36 assists. With rumors swirling about the potential trade of Pavel Zacha, a staple in the Bruins' top 6 forward group, Poitras could soon find himself at the heart of Boston's second line as a center. This transition is huge, granting him a chance to shape the team's attack and claim a more permanent role. However, the biggest challenge for Poitras is consistency and adaptation. Can he translate his development success in Providence to thrive week in and week out in the NHL? Pairing him with complementary players like Jack Geekie could accelerate his growth, as they could feed off each other's skills. But if Poitras ends up isolated as the lone offensive threat on a struggling line, his progress might stall, putting him under enormous pressure to produce solo. When does training camp kick off? Mark your calendars. The Bruins training camp begins in just over 6 weeks, on September 18th. The team's preseason opener is scheduled for September 21st, when they'll face the Washington Capitals at TD Garden at 5 p.m. This camp will be crucial for all players, especially those breakout candidates looking to solidify their spots and make a lasting impression. And this is the part most people miss. How will the coaching staff balance veteran presence with emerging young talent? Will the Bruins lean into youth, or will experience take precedence? What do you think? Should Boston be more aggressive with its youth movement, or hold on to veterans as the backbone? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Could these breakout candidates reshape the Bruins' future, or are they facing an uphill battle in a highly competitive environment?